Greg, you see those air quality alerts, you see the fires, and you think that's what happens around this time of year.
Yeah, it gets dry. It sure does.
Yeah, it reminds you kind of the risk. Even though we've had the rain here recently, anytime in Texas when you're in July and August, you've got to be careful.
Yeah, we have to be careful out there, and we are drying out. We do have some air quality concerns, just kind of normal for us with those ozone levels a little bit later today. We'll show you that, so it's going to be pretty typical August weather for us. We're not dealing with the smoke that they are up in Canada and portions of the northern tier states there. But for us, it's going to be hot. It's going to be dry, seasonably so out there today, 85 degrees. Looking at the temperature now, taking you out to Fort Worth, and it was a little bit hazy. It was here this morning, heading on into the afternoon. 88 is what it feels like out there for you right now, and we're looking at just a few clouds trying to puff up today, but sunshine is going to dominate as we go through the day today. 86 taking you out to the UNT campus. 90 is what it feels like. The UNT football team just got off the practice field. They were out there a little bit earlier here this morning. They just went in, and they need to do that as we get into the afternoon as things do start to heat up. All the rain and thunderstorms from yesterday, that's long gone. We'll have to get out into the Gulf and along the Gulf Coast. We'll have a few showers and storms. We're not expecting anything like that anytime soon across North Texas, so we will be drying out over the next few days, and those temperatures, they will be climbing a little bit for us too as we head toward the end of the week. So we're still going to be looking at almost full sunshine. Those temperatures right now warming up around North Texas as we're looking at those mid-80s, getting out to Fort Worth as you just saw there at 86 already, 89 getting out to Sulphur Springs and those mid-80s up along the Red River. We were actually down in the upper 60s in a few places outside the Metroplex here this morning, but everyone going to feel the heat as we go through the day. Those mid, maybe some upper 90s a little farther west as we go through the day. And when we factor in that humidity, that heat index, it's going to keep climbing as well. We'll top out somewhere around 101 to 102 a little bit later today for Dallas over to Fort Worth. Maybe as hot as 100 with that feels like temperature, even heading out to Denton a little bit later today. So it is going to stay hot and humid. And there's that air quality alert that we do have in effect for us for today. So if you're sensitive to those ozone levels, please do keep that in mind today as well. Now it's going to get hotter and a little more humid over the next few days with those daytime highs climbing into the upper 90s as we head into Thursday, Friday, going with the high around 99. We may hit 100, but that heat index, it is certainly going to be up over 100. Maybe as hot as 105 to 106 later in the week, and we'll keep that going as we head on into the weekend. So just be prepared for that as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Now, we are keeping an eye on the tropics. I want to talk about this because we're kind of easing into the season here where things usually start to heat up as we get into August and September. Now, we do have one storm out there well out into the Atlantic. That is Dexter that we'll be keeping an eye on. You see those 40-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to be moving away from the U.S., so no issues out there at all. But a couple of more disturbances that we'll watch there in the southeast near the Carolina coast. Has a 40% chance for some development over the next 7 days. And as we zoom out on a little bit further, 50% chance for some development. Another system well out in the Atlantic right now that will be working its way north and east as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. Nothing in the Gulf right now, but again, we are entering that time of the year when things do really start to get a little more active in the tropics. But for us, the 14-day forecast looks like this, those mid-upper 90s out there as we go through the end of the week. And again, as you just saw, that heat index could get pretty oppressive for us as well later this week. Now, we'll have those daytime highs for the weekend around 97 to 98, so that's going to be pretty close to seasonal averages for us. And then as we look at the second half of that 14-day forecast, not much is going to change. Rain chances will be slim to just about none over the next 14 days there and through the end of next week. We'll keep those daytime highs seasonably hot in the upper 90s. All right, midday will continue after this.